No, not like the food. I don't know what's worse
No,
for your
did
health.
you just say no anthrax?
No anthrax in the
No
water.
anthrax.
Does that
Are we
happen in the
streaming to the
movie?
right
What's
place?
anthrax in the water?
He does that, and he also like slaps someone's butt, and there's like
Excuse
anthrax
me.
on his hand. Oh, excuse me, and he just covers him in anthrax and walks
Nice.
away. Soon he'll be dead.
Poop.
Soon he
And
will be
my
dead.
wife just walked in, so I'm going to be BRB for just a few minutes, guys. Sorry. Hang
Okay.
on 1 second.
How
Oh,
dare he
you're
love his
streaming now.
wife?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
That's okay.
All
All right, let me
well,
repeat the message I got real quick. It was from Cool Gun
Okay.
on. Are we streaming?
Yeah, we're streaming.
Oh,
Nice.
it was for Cool Gun on Roll20. He said he loves our stuff, and I thanked him for not firing me. Go.
Well, there's no point in me going yet until Squee comes back. Because
Oh.
I'll be literally just repeating myself.
Hey, everybody.
Can I not retweet this? There we go. Thank you. Hello, everyone, by the way. As you can hear, Krieta is back for this session. Huzzah!
Oh, hi.
People are super excited to see you.
Hi,
For good
guys.
reason.
I missed you. I missed each and every one of you. Cashbeat, especially you. Sorry, Spin
Wow.
Dog.
Wow.
Did I make this uncomfortable
Wow.
for everyone?
Probably.
Should I do that for a couple months? I can do that.
Anywho,
Sorry.
we're just waiting for Squee to come back, and then we'll get started.
Hey, can we give Squee a hard time, and when he comes back, we completely ignore him, like, and make him think that his mic is not
No.
working?
No, I would like to play the game now. We've had
But like,
15 minutes of
like the
delays.
punishment.
We've had 15 minutes of delays. I would very much like to play the game.
Oh,
now.
I guess I didn't look at the time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
All right,
Yay.
welcome back, Squee. Okay, so when we last left off, the party just retrieved the golden rabbit and dispatched or released or freed or unanchored, not too exactly sure, but the torpid anathema is also gone off of the plane, the dimension of Sable. You're in your vehicles on the way back to Velda City. All the players are present, along with Lavin. Pretty much everybody, actually, in the entire group, with the exception of August and Marla Stotch, Lee, and of course the two allies, two surviving allies that Tyrath sent, Sienna and Ferris, who are all back at the Rhapsody. So my question now, with the Golden Rabbit in your possession, where would you like to go? Patterson is beside himself in finding another one of the transmundane, although unsettled at actually touching the darn thing. And his residence is open to you as lifelong friends. You did mention to him that you'll be leaving soon, and that he definitely understands that. But you can go to Patterson's place. You can head over towards back towards the Rhapsody, where you can pull off the side of the road and try to contact Tyrath right away, whatever you prefer.
Dex Delaney, if I recall correctly, he went out of town, and he was going to hide low.
No, he's
Not yet?
he's just lying low right now. However, when you do go out of town, he wants to come with you because there are some things in his past that he wants to deal with when tracking down, involving the Golden Rabbit and other things too.
I think it might be a good idea to possibly try and track him down and get him to the Rhapsody. What do you guys think?
I agree. I would say first order of priority would be getting a lot of the people home so they can rest, because they've been through quite a lot.
That's true.
And I'm assuming, actually, I never thought to ask this, Inferno, but considering that they were being drained, do they seem tired, exhausted, lacking energy? I know you told me what their physical damage was, but...
Well, as I mentioned before, they had a hard time. they were a little groggy off the
Mhm.
get-go, but it was a 3 to 4 hour walk, and as they progressed through the underground tunnels, they were able to regain some of their strength or at least cohesion.
Okay.
They're still they're fatigued, obviously, due to the traumatic ordeal, but nothing that a good night's rest probably wouldn't solve.
Okay. Yeah, my thought would be get them so they can rest, and then I like tracking down Dex Delaney. I would also like to have a chat with Miss Johnson to let her know what's happened, because it might be beneficial to let her know, because this is a pretty major change to her dimension.
Hmm.
I'd like to hold off calling Tyrath as long as we can, especially because I don't know how our good friend Patterson would feel about it.
Fair enough. Well, in order to contact Dex Delaney, there are two main ways. The first is his office phone, and the second is the bartender in the Night Owl Dive Bar. You can either leave a message with the bartender or try to ring up Dex Delaney and see if he's around. Those are the two best ways to do that. If you want to just drop off Patterson at his abode, you're free to do that as well, and then you can not worry about him witnessing anything. As far as Miss Johnson goes, Miss Johnson tends to show up at certain intervals. You do know that she does work at the first Velda City First Truck Trust Bank as the head teller there. Is a associate of hers, so he's probably a good way to track her down as well. So with those avenues, what would you guys like to do? Right now, we're kind of in a general narrative mode right now until you guys have a general thing what you want to do, and then I'll throw you into a scene or two.
Okay.
Please tell me you heard me. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
we-
We
Yes,
heard
we
you.
heard you.
Yes,
We heard you,
we're just considering. Well, what do you guys want to do? We could talk to Miss.
Miss
Johnson.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Sure. Maybe have that conversation before we find Dex Delaney, just in case there's information.
It's currently 4 o'clock in the afternoon, or it will be
Yeah.
around 4 o'clock in the afternoon when you hit Velda City.
All right. And is it possible maybe we could just split up, have people who need to rest go home and rest, and then we go the other way? I don't know.
I can't tell you what you can or can't do.
Yeah.
You want to split up,
actually,
you can split up. You have a couple vehicles. You have 3 vehicles.
Yeah, we would have had to pick up the vehicle that was left
Yep.
where they all got captured. So
Yep.
yeah, I'm fine going to Miss Johnson first.
Yeah, let's do that. To Miss Johnson.
All right. So, Patrick, you drive the vehicles. You lead the vehicles to a section of the northeast portion of Velda City's downtown. The sun is starting to hang a little bit lower in the day, but it hasn't quite passed the threshold where the sun is behind any of the large towering buildings of the metropolis. Everything, of course, is still completely grayscale, and you soon find yourselves in front of a tall, squat building, approximately 4 stories tall, that looks a little bit older than much of the architecture around there. However, it is a sturdy cement building with along the top etched in Velda City First National Trust. The only thing that looks has been modernly updated is the entrance doors, a combination of dark wood and glass, with etchings on there as well. One door marking entrance and one door marking exit. Who of the party is going to enter the bank?
I'll
I'll go in.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Sure do.
All right. So, realizing the rest of your friends stay by the car, while the 4 of you enter the Velda City First National Trust. as you enter, you are faced with a very gentle vanilla aroma in the building. In addition to a few leather-backed chairs along the um, side of the lobby, you mostly see before you a series of wooden slat teller booths with one single entrance to the back of the bank along the left side of your current visage. In these teller booths, which there appears to be 8 in all, 4 of them are currently occupied, all by women ranging between the ages of 20 to their mid-30s or so, all comely lasses, 2 brunettes, a blonde, and well, I couldn't say auburn hair, but an ashen-haired lady. The blonde, of course, you recognize as Miss Johnson. Her hair pinned behind her back in and dressed in a very professional, era-appropriate outfit. She gives no outward reaction of recognition to you, as 2 of the ladies are occupied counting something in front of them, while one of the brunettes and Miss Johnson give a wide smile to you, to the 4 of you who entered, and waiting for you to pick a booth, for lack of a better word. There is a soft velvet ropes separating, making lines, cues to each teller. And that's pretty much it for the description of the place.
Okay. I'll get into the velvet line and try to make my way towards the front and see if I can get to Miss Johnson's booth.
Ellie's just skipping everyone. Excuse me. Pardon me.
Well,
Excuse
fortunately, the lineup in front of Miss Johnson is free, and there's only one person in line for the other brunette. So it's relatively empty. As you passed on by, you saw the hours posted, and the bank does close in the next 15 minutes or so. So I suppose you're fortunate to not be at the height of their business.
Yeah.
So as Ellie circumvents the line and Tom slides up using the line, Miss Johnson looks between both Tom and Ellie, who approach her window around the same time, and she says, "Oh, good day. Welcome to Velda City First National Trust. How may I assist you today?"
I would like to open a checking account, please.
"Wonderful," she says. "I'll just need 2 forms of ID. and a
Ellie's like
$5
winking
deposit."
a lot.
Miss Johnson notices all the winking, but she doesn't. Her painted smile doesn't falter whatsoever as she asks for 2 forms of identification and a $5 deposit. As she looks towards Tom, as she asks, "Is this going to be a joint checking account?"
Yes, I do believe so.
Oh, wonderful. Then I will require 2 forms of identification as well, although the deposit can stay at $5.
Okay.
Would we be able to open? Tom, I don't know what we're doing here. Do you got a minute to talk?
Yeah, you see Al behind them, just
We
kind
are
of
talking.
like, what?
No, I mean like.
Ellie.
What?
Ellie.
Yeah. Hi. How you doing, Tom? Do you need to talk right now?
Ellie, please let me talk.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Anyway, she covers her mouth with her hands.
Mm-hmm.
We are interested in using this as a business checking account. Not only for the 2 of us, but for our business, the Rhapsody. We are interested in hearing any offers for this, and we are wondering if there is a private booth or some such that we can talk privately about this.
She says, "Well, I'm afraid not. Unfortunately, you missed Mr. Clive Emberson. He is our small business accounts manager. He stepped out about an hour or so. His office hours are finished. Perhaps if you'd like to come back tomorrow, he'd be able to assist you. I can
Sure.
help you with any simple transactions, she says as she brings her eyes towards a large white-faced clock in the lobby. And she says, but we will be closing in 13 minutes. You might not have enough time. You might need to come back tomorrow.
Oh, that's no problem. We can come back tomorrow and talk business. For now, I think we're going to be heading back to the Rhapsody, and he will give her a wink. Hopefully,
raises
getting
an eyebrow.
across the idea of we need to talk. Come to the Rhapsody.
Ellie, as Ellie like sees that Tom's leaving, she like looks back and forth. Hey, she leans over at oh, I'm sorry, blanking
Miss
out on her.
Johnson.
Yeah,
Miss
she leans
Johnson.
over at Miss Johnson and goes, so, can you, are you busy tonight? Can you just come on over so we can talk?
She gives a bit of a laugh as she takes a reflexive step backwards as you lean over the desk of her booth, and she says, well, man, we don't even really know each other at all. If you're inviting me to go to your nightclub, I suppose it is a nice place, but a little busy for my taste. Besides, the gal's got a reputation. She can't be boozing it up every single night now, can she?
Oh, of course you can. Who cares about reputation?
She says, I do, of course. Any
Oh.
sensible woman does.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Ellie
But-
takes out
but
a
I wanna-
notebook that says how to act normal and starts writing in it.
Uh-huh. Great. She says, but thank you for the invitation.
Al would come up behind Ellie and he would say, "Sorry
You hear her give a bit of a small, frustrated sigh as Al comes into view.
and he'd say, "Sorry if we're giving you too much trouble. We really just wanted to talk about an account we closed for a Mr. Anathema. But if you're busy, we can talk later, I'm sure."
You folks, I'm not too sure exactly how you run your business, but you seemed awfully scatterbrained. First, you want a joint check account. Now you want a special account for your business. Now you're looking to close an account. My suggestion is perhaps you get together, figure out your financial needs, and come back tomorrow.
Al
Ellie
looks at her.
We'll be real happy to assist you in whatever way you have, and I'm here to answer any sort of questions. You should know that because we're one of the first trust banks here in Velda City, we have a fantastic interest rate, very competitive.
I'm
Ooh, Did you
curious.
hear that? What?
I'm so curious that you're so hesitant to come to our nightclub, considering you've already been there before.
Yes, I did come on opening night, but as I tried to explain, I do have a certain reputation, and I'll be washing my hair tonight.
How long does it take you to wash your hair? Ellie sits, puts her notebook down and says, "Is that another normal girl thing I don't know about?"
Miss Johnson's smile is becoming strained as she says,
Al's going to say very quietly, "We are doing our best to follow what you want, but we have information you need." Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Sorry to say that. You'll have to repeat
Oh,
yourself.
sorry. Yeah. Al will say in a quiet voice, "We are doing our best to follow what you want, but we have information you need."
Sir, I have to ask you, if you're not going to be conducting any banking business right now, to have yourself a fantastic day.
Al will just turn around to Ellie and say, "I guess she doesn't want to know the Torpid Anathema's gone." And he'll just walk away.
The Tortham and want him? She follows after.
And Al will just
All right.
walk out of the bank. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Do the rest of the NPCs follow? I mean, PCs follow?
Oh, I would like to think that Tom already left the bank and was sitting in the car,
Sure.
wondering what the hell's going on.
Fair enough.
I mean, I don't even know where the heck my character was, either in the back or in the car.
And up to you, I suppose. But Ellie, as you begin to leave, you can hear Miss Johnson's voice talking to another feminine voice as she says, "My goodness, some people are so scrambled they don't even know what they want or what they do. I'm glad that didn't get violent, unlike those last folks that came on in. What is this city becoming to?" As the other woman clucks her fingers and she says, "No, I don't know. It's just so goofy sometimes."
Ellie looks up at Al and says, "Hey, they're saying we're pretty goofy. I think that's good."
Al shrugs. I honestly don't care what she thinks anymore.
Well, with that, where would you guys like to head next?
We gonna go find Dex Delaney?
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, do you want
probably-
to try his office or do you want to try the bar at the Night Owl pub?
Let's go for the bar first, because I think that's usually his normal haunt. And if he's not there, then call his office.
Okay. On the way there, are you going to drop off Patterson, or are you going to take him with
You drop him off.
Frank
See what I
Patterson?
need.
Frankie?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'm fine dropping him off, definitely.
All right.
Burn, you're typing really loud, buddy.
Oh, that's
I
me,
think
sorry.
that's Piph.
Oh, someone is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, after dropping off Frank Patterson, who gives each of you a vehement shake of the hand and saying that he'll stay in touch for as long as you're in town. If you require any sort of assistance, to let him know, as he goes back to the somewhat tidied up residence. As you head to the Night Owl, you once again are in the front of the very simply decorated and more than a little greasy dive bar that is the Night Owl. And as you enter its a smoky abode, you see the mustachioed, balding man behind the bar top. Behind the bar. There appears to be about 8 or so individuals in various stools or tall tables, nursing a drink, getting an early refreshment after work. He notices you come on in and gives you a small understanding nod. What would you like to do?
Orange juice, please.
He says, vodka in it?
Yes.
Okay.
By the way, she kind of continues like twirling her hair with her finger.
Mhm.
Have you heard about Dex Delaney? Is he around? Can we talk to him?
Well, he says, Dex hasn't been by for a few days, but I do know where to find him. I could get a message out to him if you want him to meet you any place.
Yeah, how soon could you get that message to him?
Pretty damn soon. It depends on how much you're going to order right now. The
Oh,
less you order, the sooner I can go make a call.
I see.
Can we get...
Is he hiding underneath the bar? Ellie's like pointing down and like whispering at the bartender.
No, he says.
Just a thought. Anyway, yes. I'll have my orange juice and then you can make your call.
Right, he says, as he fixes Ellie up a quick and dirty, and I do emphasize the word dirty, screwdriver as he slides it over towards you. Her. There you go. That'll be a checker, please.
What?
A checker. $1.
Oh, Tom. Ellie looks over. Do you got a dollar I can borrow?
He'll take out his wallet and throw it, or hand the bartender $1.
Great. He
So
says,
you're
anything
gonna
else?
wad it up and throw it at his head.
As he
No.
puts the dollar bill into his dirty pocket of his trousers, and he says, any other drinks before I make a phone call?
No, just tell our friend to meet us at the Rhapsody. Please.
All right. He says, I can do.
Have a good evening.
Tonight, I take it.
As soon as possible.
I see. Is this one of them emergencies?
More like a job is done and we're interested in paying him.
Oh, then he'll be really excited to come. I'm sure he'll be there right away, he says with a bit of a snicker. As he disappears behind the bar, do you guys wait for him to come out, or do you just leave?
Oh, I want to have my drink.
You'll have your drink? Fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't leave with a glass.
Well,
Well, we
never
could.
stopped
She
Ellie
puts it in
before.
a to-go
okay,
cup.
That's true. I should say you can, but do we want to? Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, if we do, I'll just leave like $5 on the counter.
Could you Inferno,
Yo.
could you describe the patrons of the bar? Someone that might look interesting for Ellie to communicate with.
And the size of their nose,
Oh, how I
please.
missed you, Kriana. We're gonna be August Keach all over again. Okay.
We're getting
all right.
we're getting a new companion, you guys.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
No.
I'm just saying that right now. Okay. All the individuals here in the bar currently are male. Most of them, the vast majority of them, look like they're about 45 or older. Interesting. Well, there is one fellow that looks a little out of place.
Oh.
He, unlike many of the other individuals who kind of dress like working stiffs, whether they're in outfits, workers' overalls that maybe they work down at the dock or construction. One gentleman seems to be he has a bowler hat on, in addition to a checkered jacket. He has a pair of straight slacks, but he also has a pair of what appears to be large rubber boots on. In addition, both his bowler hat and his jacket seem to have some rips and tears in it. Nothing major, right? Nothing completely like it's half torn off, but it looks like excessively well worn. In fact, the hem of the cuff of his jacket has a few strands at it, and as he drinks his large draft beer, he idly pulls at the string, playing with it, fidgeting in between his fingers.
Ellie will lean over at Patrick and go, "Get a load of that guy."
Patrick's slightly dazed looks over. Oh, neat.
Yeah, exactly. Ellie stands up with her orange juice and vodka and walks over to the gentleman. Excuse me, sir.
He looks up from the strand of fabric that he was playing with, looks up in a bit of surprise, and now closer to him, you can see that he also has a pair of round spectacles, and he looks to be in his late 30s, early 40s or so. His mottled hair sticks out from underneath of his hat, and he says, hello, you're talking to me.
Yeah.
You're talking to me.
Yeah.
How can I help you, ma'am?
I was just gonna say, I really am digging your fashion sense. I love the rubber boots and the hat. It works very well for you.
Well, he says, I never really expected that, but murder, that's great.
What?
But,
Yeah. Did you kill someone?
And he said, no, it's an expression. You don't.
What?
Wait, where are you from? He says, everyone uses that. If
Really?
something's amazing or something, really knocks your socks off, you say murder. Means it's great.
Mm.
Wow.
Every
You know.
time he says murder, she like flinches and like is looking worriedly over at the group.
He says, you seem a little on edge there, miss. I was just deciding to have a drink before I once again engage in my usual activities.
Oh, and what kind of activities would those be?
Oh, he says, I'm well, I guess you say a street philanthropist. There's so many things that people throw out, and I pick the best of them and fix them up and give them to people who are kind of in need, I suppose.
Ooh, can I see some of the things you found? Please don't show a dead body. I don't want to see a dead body, but if you got some cool trinkets, I want to see.
He gives several blanks for a moment, and he says, dead body, what? You're still very confused about this whole expression thing. He says, where are you from, ma'am?
I'm from out of town.
I see, he says. Out of towner, I suppose. Well, I'll try to speak plainly for you and not use some of the local lingo.
Oh, thank you.
I don't currently have anything on me, as you can see as he gestures around. I finished just giving away a battered up old poster to a little freckled orphan girl. And like I said, I figured I deserved myself a little bit of a refreshment before I find something else.
Well, that's awfully nice of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Although,
Not
if
everyone
it's
has nice memes.
if it's a little orphan girl, you might want to get her a doll next time. I don't know what girl likes a poster.
Yes, but I don't know many receptacles that have dolls just lying around. You have to deal with what you have. Understand?
Well, you could get creative, and you could have made like little paper dolls.
Don't you think that's a little off the cuff?
The what?
Oh, I'm sorry. Don't you think that's a little corny?
What? No. Listen. If I've learned anything, I love corny. And people do too. They just don't, necessarily express it like I do. Anyway, I'm all done with my orange juice, so I'm going to leave now. But it was nice talking to you. Good luck with that murder and everything.
No, he says, opening his mouth to correct you, and he just gives a shrug. And after a few minutes, once again resumes playing with a bit of string on his the edge of his jacket. While that is going on, the mustachioed bartender comes back from the back, and he says, I talked with him. I let him know. He said he'd be able to pop by at 8 o'clock tonight. That's the earliest he can swing it.
Okay.
I'm glad that to whatever business you had is over. Hopefully things can kind of get down to normal. Mr. Delaney, a good friend of mine, he's been looking a little frayed on the edges recently. Yeah. I hope you're going to pay him well enough. Hell, he spends half of his paycheck here, so I hope you pay him really well.
Mm-hmm. We're looking to pay him very
Just give me a second. I have to restart my router.
Okay.
Actually, I think I need to restart Discord because I'm getting a little choppiness. So I'm gonna restart Discord. I'll be right back.
Okay. Goodbye,
Actually,
friends.
my foot fell off. I need to disconnect everything.
I'm gonna restart Texas. I think I need a good state restart.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, there were a couple of shots in my neighborhood, so I don't know what the hell's going on.
I mean, sometimes like shots are heard over here, but that's usually like the oddball like firing off like a cannon.
Yeah, this isn't Pennsylvania, Piph.
I hear shots, but that's like Tuesdays. I mean,
This isn't Texas,
we're
Squee.
talking about.
This is why.
This
This
is
could have just
America!
been.
Boom, 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 boom.
It could have just been a car backfiring or something, but it was real weird.
I am back. Hello.
I mean, I literally have no less than 3 shooting ranges within a 10-mile radius of me, so
Wow.
yay, Texas!
That's a weird way to say hello to Kriana.
Woo,
No,
Texas.
it's not.
That's the Texas
Fair
handshake.
No.
The
That's
Texas
the Texas
handshake.
handshake.
Yeehaw!
Mhm.
How you doing? It's me, Texas Jones.
Clumsily takes out 2 pistols and fires. them in the air.
Firing them into the air and like, yeah! That's what Texas Jones does on his free time. Kill some people.
Wow.
Murder!
Murder.
It's murder.
No, that in Texas it'd be like murder. Well, you use that fancy language, I guess.
Down here, we just call it people shooting.
Wow.
You got to differentiate between deer shooting, people shooting.
Deer shooting or people shooting?
Sometimes
You
they
gotta get a
just
license for the
confusing.
first one, though.
What?
Sometimes I get confused of which one to
There we
shoot.
go.
I mean, I looked for a license for people shooting, didn't find none, so guess don't need none.
Hey, Inferno, welcome back.
Hi,
Inferno.
Inferno.
Sorry, just an odd, too frequent with the disconnections here.
No, I was getting some weird stuff too, so I don't know if Discord's being weird. So I was having problems.
We'll work around it. It's no
Yeah.
big deal. Anyway, so with Ellie's drink all finished, and the message sent to Mr. Delaney, the next step is yours, folks. It's going to be around. If you head back to the Rhapsody, it'll be around 6 o'clock when you arrive.
Yeah.
If you decide to go back to the Rhapsody, I guess.
I don't think we need any more errands.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. So the Rhapsody, because there's not that much staff, since most of your friends are with you, it's closed for another evening. And when you arrive, when you pull out front, you see Miss Johnson. Her hair still done up in her work outfit, standing outside the entrance, the front entrance of the Rhapsody itself. She's currently smoking a cigarette, this time without a long filter, just straight up, as she notices you drive on by and park with a bemused look on her face.
Hey, I thought you didn't want to go boozing again.
She says, "I'm not boozing."
Oh. Okay, Ellie just walks in.
Wait.
As Ellie walks in the door, she looks towards the other gentleman. As your friends also begin to mill, both around the back alley and the front door, leaving the conversation with Miss Johnson to you folks.
Let's head inside.
Yeah, Al would hold the door open.
Yeah.
She says, "All right, but only for a little while. I have many places to be."
That's fine. We only need to
It
talk
won't
to you
take
for like
long.
5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, she says. As she steps on into the Rhapsody itself, taking a look around. Oh, you guys over to the Rhapsody. Taking a look around as the lights begin to turn on as your companions filter through. Basilisk and Ezex stop by the bar for a drink with Lavin before they head upstairs to clean themselves off. Well, Basilisk and Lavin will clean themselves off. Ezex is very happy to be as muddled up as he is. Regardless, Miss Johnson stops by one of the black marble pillars near the entrance, turns around, and she says, "Well, what's so important that you had to come by the bank for?"
Well, the being known as the Torpid Anathema is no longer here in this dimension.
She says. And why is that?
It wanted to go home. So we helped it go home.
I see, she says. So I take it your little treasure hunt for this golden rabbit has been successful then?
Yeah,
Yes.
it has been.
Interesting, she says. I'm intrigued to know what your intentions are, but you don't have to state them so explicitly. I find actions to be truer than words most of the time.
Oh, we don't plan on being here much longer, hence the desire to speak to you before we headed out.
She gives a bit of a laugh as she lights up another cigarette. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have a long way to go yet.
Well, good luck with that, she says. You'll definitely need it.
I'm sorry. It's been a long day. We've walked for hours upon hours, and I'm a little tired. I don't suppose
then
you
I'll
would
let you
mind
go.
elaborating on what you mean by that, do you?
Well, I'm afraid not, no. She says that's definitely not my role to play and would upset far too many things. All I'll say is I'm glad you found success. I'm glad you didn't end up dead. And I'm glad between your bout with yourselves and the Order of Lapine, I'm glad that some undesirables were brushed out of the way. That's all I'll say on the matter itself.
Okay.
And when it comes to leaving, she says, some things are much easier said than done. But you prove to be resourceful, hence why I think it's both interesting to me that you would say that, to me, of all people. And second of all, you actually do have my earnest best of luck.
Well, thank you. We figured that you should know that all of this stuff is over and dealt with. You won't be needing to worry about us anymore. Hopefully.
Oh, we'll just see about that, she says as she makes her way towards the entranceway. As she turns around, she says, the people who cause the most trouble are the ones who first say that they won't be any problem.
You control more than one dimension, do you?
She just gives a surprised laugh as she walks out the door.
How much do you think a dimension costs in order to run? Like,
Gosh.
I'd like my own dimension. That'd be kind of fun.
The upkeep
It would be kind of fun.
Am I just tired, or was that kind of menacing?
What?
More than a little bit menacing.
What? You guys really think so? She can be all mysterious. That's kind of who she's been since day one.
That's true, but for some reason, it kind of came off as threatening to me.
See, to me it came off as mysterious. I think she just doesn't think that we know what we're doing, and to be quite honest, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I think maybe her menacingness is completely justified.
Maybe.
Al would shrug. I'll go with that.
Yeah.
I need sleep.
Probably what we should probably do is might be a good idea to not open the Rhapsody for tonight. It might cause some alert and whatnot, but I mean, we'd be able to get some rest, and once Dex gets here, we can start to talk to Tyrath.
Well, to be fair, it was closed last night too. Do we consider that to be a problem?
Let's just leave a sign out the door that says everyone's got a really bad cold and we don't want to spread the germs.
Alicia pipes up and she says, if we plan on getting the hell out of this dimension soon, then I don't think I care about what the folks out there in the city think.
Exactly.
I tend to agree. So, sure, let's leave it closed.
Yep.
Okay. Now, it's going to be about 2 hours before Dex Delaney is supposed to show up.
Mhm.
What do you guys want to do in the meantime?
I think Tom would want to take a good long bath and relax.
Okay. All right.
Then, because we're thinking of getting out of here, hopefully, start to gather his possessions. Like, in case he has his flask over in the bar area, he's gonna just bring it to his room and whatnot.
Okay. The rest of you?
You know what? Al would just. No, it's Al. Al would see to all the people that were. He would almost insist, but not forcefully, that at least some of them, if not all of them, undergo a more thorough medical examination, because we have no idea what just happened to them.
Okay. Patrick, Ellie?
Ellie's probably gonna just follow Patrick around and tell him about the gentleman she met at the bar and how he finds stuff in garbage and that they should do that too, and that would be really fun.
You'd be surprised, but Patrick was actually. I should probably roleplay this. He goes, well, actually, I was about to just leave to see if he was still there. You want to go meet him again?
Yeah, we got time.
Where are you
Alright.
going to go meet?
The oddly dressed man at the bar.
Okay. All right. Now, you guys do okay, no, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. All right, no problem. All right. So, what shall I do first? Let's do Patrick and Ellie as you drive Ellie back towards the Night Owl pub. I'm not going to be an asshole and say the man has left. But as you enter, you see him exit around the same time.
Oh, just who we're looking for. Hey, remember me?
Yes, it's hard to forget you, very literal woman. And this must be your gentleman. Hello, sir, he says as he lifts his hat in greeting. You can see a bunch of mottled, greasy hair underneath. And why, perchance, were you looking for me?
Ellie just starts giggling, looks at Patrick.
You seem to find things of importance that people have left.
Yes.
Yes. I haven't done this in a while. Would you mind if I helped you? Maybe give me some pointers?
I don't normally take on apprentices, especially those that I meet just right as I'm leaving a drinking establishment. However, I don't suppose there'd be any real harm. However, I must insist that anything you find, I get 50% of.
Oh, I mean, you can have all of it. We just kind of want to learn and experience the nature of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I see. Well, I was about to head down Broad Street. Perhaps you shall accompany me. Did you come in your own motor vehicle?
Yes.
Oh, excellent. I haven't ridden one in quite some time, at least 3 fortnights. Please, he says. I shall follow you to your vehicle.
All right, let's get going.
Yeah. Patrick actually looks a little eager and does a nice jog to the front of his car to get in and get ready.
Ellie will hold open the door for the gentleman.
All right. Oh, thank you, he says. Typically, I'm supposed to do that for you, but I will not say no for your strange out-of-town customs, he says, as he lounges along the back seat.
I'm all for breaking the rules, Ellie says as she closes the door.
Yes, clearly, he says. Well, yes, Broad Street is just down that way as he points down the street. and he'll happily guide you to where he needs to go. As you drive down Broad Street, the gentleman becomes very attentive, looking at both the left and right-hand side of the windows until he says, "Stop! Stop! Stop! Pull over right now! Perfect! I found a perfect opportunity," he says. Perfect!
I very I wouldn't say slam, but more than usual hit the brake and try to find a good place to park my car.
All right. You find one. It's by a meter, however. So it'll take a nickel for you to park there for a couple hours. But you have that changed. That's not a problem. This gentleman lets you pay for it, and he says, by the way, I suppose since I'm taking you as a temporary apprentice or apprentices, I suppose nomenclature is important. My name is Thomas G. Washington.
Hi, Thomas G. Wait, the Thomas G. Washington?
He says, you have heard of my illustrious name?
No.
Oh, that's too bad. I am related to a certain George Washington, however. He looks to you, expecting an impressed
He
reaction.
made the grill.
No, he says. No, not even close. Anyway, your names?
Oh,
My name's Ellie.
I'm Mr. Kinsman.
Mr. Kinsman.
Ooh, my name's Mrs. Ellie.
I see. I was hoping for more distinguished names for my accompaniment, but that is fine. Well, yes, as we are. Out. Here, follow me, he says, as he happily hops outside the vehicle and starts pointing eagerly down towards one of the alleyways between two businesses. One looking like a city bakery that is still open, while another one appears to be just a simple, tall office building.
So what's so cool about this place?
Because, he says, I know for a fact that the gentleman on this route down Broad Street is a very lazy refuse collector, and he has a tendency to wait for the receptacles to overflow before certain complaints from the bakery there cajole him to come this way. Thankfully, also to Broad Street, I have not been asked to shuffle along my merry way. So, where the pickings are good, we shall find them. Follow here, my young apprentices, as he struts down the alley itself towards the back of the bakery.
Ellie struts at his heels.
Uh-huh. Patrick?
Oh yeah, definitely follow.
Excellent. Heading towards the dingy gravel back of the bakery and the office building. Sorry, just looking up his name. Thomas G. Washington. Thomas G. Washington looks both to the right and to the left. To the right, there is a few metal garbage cans overflowing with what appears to be baked goods garbage. And to the left is your more classic dumpster that has both of its garbage flaps closed. He says, I'm not in the mood for perishables today. He says, let's see if we can't find something a little bit more substantive, shall we? Well, as my new apprentices, I must insist you get the first, let's just say, reconnaissance of our possible scrounging, as he invitingly opens up one of the dumpster flaps and gestures for one or both of you to enter.
Ellie just starts burrowing within the dumpster. Like she jumps on top of it and just starts digging down, and like
Oh my
like a
god.
mole, she goes into the garbage.
Oh my god. Patrick? You know,
seeing
out
that-
of everything in this session today, I did not expect you guys to be literally picking through garbage, but yet here we are.
Looks like one side is being moved around quite a bit. I think he'll lift up the second flap and try to pick off from the top and see if he can't work his way down.
Okay. So, thankfully, most of the garbage, with the exception of a few things in some still intact, smaller bags, appears to be dry garbage, for lack of better words. So your digging doesn't, you don't find anything squishy or undesirable. However, that is not to say the dumpster itself smells particularly well. The old kind of sewagey smell kind of lingers as Patterson. So not Patterson. Oh my god.
Why am I here?
Washington. Why am I here? Why did you write me into this story? As Washington still holding Ellie's side of the dumpster, the door open, he says, That's right. Oh, you are a strange twist, but I do have to say I admire your eagerness. That's right. He says, you'll make an impact in any apple, all around from East Coast to West Coast, as he says encouraging words, as Ellie and Patrick begin to dig through the garbage, looking for anything that might be of interest. I would like both of you to roll me a D100, please.
All right.
Oh my god. All right. Patrick, you find a broken phone, not the entire phone, just the what do you call it? The part that you talk into.
Receiver?
The receiver?
Receiver, yeah. Thank you. You find a phone receiver with a frayed edge to it, whereas Ellie, you find what appears to be a intact, partially played with police. Okay, it's like a policeman's cap, a little tiny billy club, and a little tiny badge with a little star on it. And on the badge it says Detective Marlowe's Junior Police Officer. Right? It's clearly both the cap and the little billy club and the little tiny star is clearly something that a child would wear as a part of a costume or a make-believe set. But you managed to find all three pieces. The rest is really just absolutely broken garbage, in addition to newspapers, old containers, little bits of dried food, and boxes.
Look at what I found. Ellie kind of like slithers out of the dumpster, and like she's covered. She has like a banana peel stuck to her head.
Yes, yes. This is all an accurate description. As Washington takes each piece out of your hand one by one to inspect it like a jeweler would inspect a rare diamond. Bring it close to his eyes, turning it aside, letting it up against the light, etc. As he turns over his hand, and he hands each article back to you individually once he's done inspecting it. He says, yes. The chapeau, the hat there, seems to be a little under the weather. The bill there looks a little torn, but nothing a little needle and thread can't fix. And I'm afraid this badge is awfully scuffed, but the reverse side is in much better position than the front. And this billy club, made of very, very cheap plastics, but once again intact, very good find, especially for a novice dive. Yes. And how about you, sir? He says as he calls into the dumpster after Patrick.
As he hits his head on the lid a bit.
Ellie
Amateur
winces.
mistake, he says. Amateur mistake, says Thomas Washington as he opens up the lid for Patrick.
Most of it was unrecognizable, but I know this. As he pulls out the receiver.
Yes, he says. I do collect these. However, I do have to admit, I am more of a tactile, mechanical type of individual, less of the electrical. So these frayed wires, unfortunately, can't do much. However, he says, I suppose if we do strip the plastic casing of it, and if there is some copper inside, that could fetch a pretty penny, perhaps another beer. Yes, perhaps. I will have to compensate this, he says as he takes the receiver and as he takes the hat and the billy club. He says, but I am a gracious master of requisitions, so I shall present to you, my star pupil, as he looks over towards Ellie, the star that you found.
Ellie's like beaming, her smile from ear to ear. She's like, you can see her shaking with excitement. Inferno.
Patrick stands there like a
Yes.
proud father.
I would like to see what material the pin is made out of.
It looks like it's made out of tin.
Is it something I can roll to see if I know the exact
Metal?
metal?
Sure. Okay. All right. Roll D100.
I don't think so. no.
Yeah. It looks like tin. I'm kind of using
Yeah.
your mining speciality. Your
Yeah.
skill there, and I don't think it beat that threshold. So it looks like tin. Maybe aluminum, but probably tin, you think.
She shrugs. She's still excited.
Good. Good. So with that, is it okay if I move over towards Burn and Squee?
The actual plot. Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Well,
No,
hang
Inferno,
on.
more dumpster diving.
Hang on. I feel more like we're the side story now.
All right, my intention, guys, is to have Dex Delaney enter. Are you guys cool with that scene, or do you want to do something beforehand before he shows up?
I'm fine with that scene. Yeah.
Okay. Dex Delaney enters. Bear was kind of watching the front to kind of let people know that the place was closed, and Bear does announce that Dex Delaney has arrived. Delaney looks as he normally does, his thin, narrow face, and he takes off his hat, his thin hair brushed to one side, as he looks left to right and naturally kind of gravitates over towards the bar, lights him up a cigarette, and waits for his employers to come meet him.
I'll head over towards the bar.
Okay. Al?
Al will, he'll head over towards the bar too and pour himself a glass of Star Kabosu.
Uh-huh. Dex Delaney says, so our mutual friend said you found some success and you want to pay me out for my services. Is that right?
Yeah.
Wait. I gotta play the Dex Delaney music. I almost forgot.
Right.
It gets me in the mood, too. Wait.
I didn't want to know that.
There we go. Not that kind of mood. Jesus Christ. Anyway,
Whatever floats your boat.
as Dex says, so, this golden rabbit, after all the work we put into it, I don't suppose it would hurt if I could see the damn thing, could I?
Sure. And Tom will go and retrieve it.
Okay.
Set it up on the bar.
Dex looks at it for a moment. He says, kind of scuffed up and grimy. Smaller than I imagined, too.
Yeah.
Can't believe there was all that hassle for something like that. Is it solid gold, at least?
It's solid gold and is, well, slightly mystical, if you'd believe that.
Well, after all the things that I saw, a man made out of stone and my own dreams, I suppose I could swallow it, or at the very least, I'll believe that you believe it's mystical.
Yeah.
So, I
had-
guess the big question is, what now? I don't suppose you need a city detective for much longer. There is one little bit of unfinished business, though. Well, when I was first hired, you mentioned possibly traveling to the outskirts of the city, and I have a niggling sensation in the back of my head that I want to go back out there too, but I don't want to do it by myself. So, now that you got what you wanted, where are you headed?
Well, first off, we have to contact our employer. Unfortunately, Patrick, the tall, lanky one, he took
Yeah.
off without telling anybody, along with Ellie. And
See.
he's the only way we can contact our employer.
Do you want me to track him down? I'll cost you a little extra.
No,
he'll
that's
get back to us
fine.
eventually.
Yeah, I'm sure they just went out for some relaxation. It's been a very stressful day or two.
Yeah.
I see.
But if I recall correctly, part of your original payment was, well, information on what we find anyway, so I would think that that is part of what we agreed.
All right, so what kind of information do you want to share?
Well, there's so much. Al says after a second, he's like, maybe you could help with more of what you're interested in.
He gives a bit of a sigh, and he says, as he twirls the cigarette, unlit cigarette around in his hands, he says, you know, I'm not so sure what I want anymore. Much of my time has been spent trying to chase down the truth. Husbands cheating on wives, workers cheating their employers, the odd missing person. When I was on the force, the odd murder, theft, numbers game. And then, more recently, I've been getting an uneasy feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You hear people disappearing from Velda City, never to be heard from again. People like the Gin Baron. Normal people, too. They seem to disappear into the shadows, and I always thought that was some romantic talk about just skipping town, going someplace else. But now that I've met you, now that I've done some things, now with this whole Order of the Lapine business, golden rabbits, age-old mysteries, I'm starting to think that only the surface is being scratched. Something's very wrong with Velda City. And I want to find out what. And I think my best chance to find that out is with you. You're the only ones who ever hired me where I had an instinct. Sure, you were a little kooky, especially that twist of yours. But there is a sincerity behind it, too. What can I
Well-
say? Maybe my memory isn't as great as it used to be. Maybe I'm apprehensive and anxious about the unknown, but I will still trust my instinct.
Al would say, like, but since he's behind the counter anyway, would you like a drink while we talk?
Nah, he says, some conversations need to be had when someone's stone sober. Typically, I drink to unwind, and sometimes I drink to forget, but I've been forgetting a lot lately, and I don't like that either, so I'll say no to Mr. Booze for now.
All right. And then Al will go over and say, well, I can tell you a lot about this place and how it, what runs it, but the difficulty is I don't have a lot of evidence for what I'm about to say, or what I could say.
Well, then my suggestion is this, says Dex. Any police officer or PI can tell you evidence is needed before any sort of claim. So how about this? How about maybe our association ain't over just yet? Maybe you don't have to pay me out. Just yet. Maybe we team up. Maybe we find some of this
This.
Evidence.
Sweet juice.
I'm not hearing any of that.
Yeah, I think.
Uh-oh.
Can anybody hear me?
I can
there
now.
we
I can hear you now.
Okay, there you go.
All right. What did you hear? What did you last hear?
Maybe we can
we
pair
find
up
some
and
of
we can
this.
find some of this.
Some of this together. Period.
Al would shrug and he'd say, well, like I said, we made a deal. I intend to abide by it.
Good, he says. So what's the next plan? You're going to contact your employer, but that's just for your own job, right?
Well, yes, but our employer is going to be very difficult to swallow.
All right. Well,
He is
my
not-
philosophy is if things are hard to swallow, don't try swallowing it in the first place.
Yeah, well, see, but you want to come along, so I guess you got to make a choice. Stick around with us for a bit and see some things that are going to change your view on the world around you, or not.
Oh, when you put it like that, I'd be a real fool to turn tail and run after I was a little monologue there.
That depends. Sometimes your view of the world can change for the worse. I know that for certain.
Not if it's the truth, he says. True things happening, even if they're tricky. Nothing wrong with that. So, my only question is this going to get me killed or seriously hurt?
No. At least
Okay.
not if we can... Al kind of like hesitates at how he's going to say it. I would rather die than hurt you or get you hurt, so...
I'll hold you to that, says Dex.
Al shrugs.
So I take it we'll just be waiting around here before your
Yeah.
friend comes in.
That's the plan.
If you want, I can
Maybe you could
cook
answer
up
one
something.
question for... Pardon me?
If you want, I can cook you up something.
He says, nah, not hungry.
All right.
You can answer one question for me, though. Our current nemesis, the Order of Lapine, the ones skulking around in the shadows, putting out hits and spooks in graveyards. I'm starting to hear some things. A friend of mine, I just finished talking with a friend of mine who was over at the suite residence. Said he heard and saw things that were real disturbing. Says he might have to check himself into the psych ward. Is there anything we gotta worry about?
Not anymore.
No.
Okay, he says.
The order
I'm gonna
used
keep
to.
my revolver on me just in case. I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine. The order used to have these experiments, these tools laying around, and Sweet was one of their higher ups.
I see, he says. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Just keep your revolver on you. Just don't have an itchy trigger finger.
Says, I've only fired my weapon when I've absolutely needed to. Thankfully, that's only been 2 times in my life. I'm not eager to make it a 3rd.
Well, good. Then yeah, we just wait around for a bit.
Okay. So we're not waiting around for a bit in session. Ellie, Patrick, what would you like to do next?
Well, now that I assume we're gonna be back at the Rhapsody.
Yeah, well, we can narratively say that after a little bit more of a conversation with Thomas G. Washington, he's very eager to strip out the copper out of that receptor and any other precious metals that might be inside of it. So he's making a bunch of excuses, saying that class is finished for today, etc., etc., etc.
Cool. So yeah,
So
Ellie...
he has no interest in continuing to dumpster dive with you. He is currently distracted.
That's fine. I think like as he was finishing up, Ellie would like grab Patrick by the collar and say, "Dex Delaney," and then she would like pull him off back to the car, and exit as mysteriously as they came in.
I'm
Okay.
good with that.
Yeah.
All right, great. So you guys are heading back to the Rhapsody, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So we're gonna say you guys get there at just after 9 o'clock. You see your friends, along with Al and Tom and Dex Delaney, sitting and talking by the bar when you enter.
Woo-wee, I sing to high heavens. How you guys doing?
Yeah, and Ellie is she still has like bits of like newspaper and garbage on her.
Yeah.
Patrick, are you a little bit cleaner, or did you at least try to pick some of the refuse off of you?
Yeah. He would probably do one of the two of, probably not have kept himself completely clean, but at least tried to not be covered with stuff.
Yeah, Patrick is much less worse for wear.
What's with all the serious faces? Hi, how's it going? Hi, Dex Delaney. Boy, you look as grumpy as ever. How you doing?
This is grumpy. I don't consider myself grumpy, he says. More distracted.
You kind of got this little pout thing going. I mean, it's like you, but it comes off as a little Are you mad at me now? Ellie like stops and stares at him.
He says, No, I'm not mad at you.
Anyway, what y'all talking about?
Well, we're talking about you, frankly. Apparently, your friends are eager to talk with your employer, and I'm eager to begin to blow the lid off of my suspicions. These two ideas have converged. What? Wait.
Our employer? You mean Alicia? She runs the Rhapsody. She's like the boss. Tyrath?
Yeah.
You want to meet Tyrath?
Yes.
I was told it'd be a good idea.
You gonna go dimension hopping with us? Ellie like puts her hands on her hips and cocks her head.
He says, I don't know that term.
Like
What is that? Some sort of drinking game?
So you're not gonna go to a different reality. You're gonna stay here? Why do you gotta meet Tyrath then?
He says, listen, the only time I visit different reality is when I drink too much whiskey. Secondly, as I was explaining to your friends, I have a sneaking suspicion that something's wrong. Velda City's like a veneer or a coat of paint on a car, but the car underneath is rusted. And I want to find out, I want to peel that paint away. And your friends explained that my eyes could be opened if I meet this employer of yours, this mysterious fellow. Now, if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong and I'll leave you be. But, frankly, my intuition is telling me that you guys know a lot more than what you're letting on. And I think it's time to come clean.
Ellie, like, blinks a couple times. Thought I was being very upfront. Well, anyway, Tyrath doesn't like people, but if you want to meet him, you can.
I was told that it won't be too dangerous, so yeah.
Yeah. He hasn't killed us yet, and boy, we've really ticked him off a couple of
Ellie.
times. So... What? What?
Stop.
What am I stopping? Is it the smell? Is it getting to you, Tom? I'll stand over here. She goes over, like, stands by Patrick. What kind of smell?
We just need to talk to Tyrath.
Okay,
It's
I was
fine.
just wondering if Tyrath was gonna get mad if Dex Delaney was around. And
He's
let's
never
just...
gotten mad over any of our other friends before.
Well,
Well, that's not entirely
Who,
true.
who
Al
has he
says.
gotten mad over?
He has
when we've had-
questioned other people's appearances many times.
He has
Yeah.
questioned it. When has he gotten mad?
it's sort of, you gotta kind of read in between the lines with Tyrath. Like, he might just be like, okay, who is this new person? But if you read between the lines, it sounds like, I don't like this new person, but okay. Anyway, let's give him a call. I miss that old bastard. Oh, I said a bad word.
Patrick looks surprised.
Dex Delaney gives a bit of a chuckle at that.
Patrick stops for a second. Right. He takes out the pendant, a little nervously watching a new person sitting there watching him do this. It's gonna look real dumb, but he's gonna do it anyway.
Alright, fair enough. So you hold the pendant.
And I focus my mind to try to communicate with Tyrath.
After a few moments, you hear the familiar voice echoing inside of your head. Greetings, kinsman. I imagine that you have retrieved the golden rabbit.
We have retrieved the golden rabbit.
Excellent. And my friends that were sent with you, they assisted you appropriately.
They have assisted, and most likely appropriately. I should inform that his mind pauses.
Are you with them now?
No. One has passed, died.
I see. Which one?
Out of
Patrick
character?
tries to picture the dragon.
Where dragon?
Yeah, where dragon?
Marshmark. Interesting and upsetting. However, you did warn that your foes were uniquely powerful. With their tests complete, I would like to escort the other two Sienna and Ferris back to where they originally left to save both my time and effort. I would appreciate you be in the same domicile when I arrive.
We have acquired a new friend with us as well.
How you keep your company is up to your discretion.
Understood.
However, I will not be responsible for the consequences of my meeting with them face to face. Is this new acquaintance a native to the Sable Dimension?
We've met him while he was already here, but I believe he's not originally from here.
Interesting. Very well. Notify me when you are together, and I will arrive to retrieve the Golden Rabbit and fulfill our agreement.
Patrick then gives another short understood.
Okay.
And I guess that he
With
will
that,
go about doing this.
Irath is lifted from your mind.
Out of character, wasn't Piph there when we were told that the other one died too? I mean,
Nope.
wasn't Patrick there?
Nope, that was
Oh, I see.
just Burns' character.
Oh, that's
Yep.
right.
Still
That's right. It was
literally
late
just
night.
Tom.
Yeah, it was late night. That's right.
Yep. So, what do you guys want to do? For all you know, Sienna and Ferris are still in the safe underneath the Rhapsody. In that little sewer system.
Mhm.
I'm assuming that Patrick will tell us about needing to get them.
Well, yeah. Let's see. He would probably mention that he's going to get the other.
Because I think it has to be Discord. Like, you guys are cutting out in and out like every 3 minutes on me. It's insane. Can we try a call?
Yeah,
Sure.
sure.
Great.
Skype?
Well, no.
Like in Discord. Yeah.
in
Oh,
Discord, a
Skype.
Discord call.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
sure.
All right.
Oh.
Wally agrees.
Distant dog. Ghost,
Ghost
dog.
dog. Yeah.
Now I just have to figure out how to add people to the call.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Add friends.
Yep.
What? Oh, they're not my friends. Oh, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Maybe if I say, no, that's call.
Oh, whoops. That's not supposed to be a thing. Whoops.
Okay, wait, do you know how to do this? Can you do it?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Oh. Well, look at that. Bork. What are you giggling at?
Because we were all dying one by one, and I was like, no, don't go, Squee, and Squee disappeared. And then I got a call, and I was like, bye, Piph! And then I clicked it right away.
All right.
Okay.
Can we hear each other now?
I think
Yep.
so.
Okay.
Hi.
We'll see how that works.
Yes, I can hear everyone.
Doggy.
Bork. Okay. All right. Anyways, so what was the question? So what are you guys doing now?
I'm going to probably tell the others that he's going to gather them, and we all need to meet up so he can.
Yeah. Then Tom will remark, we're probably going to have a hard time carrying Ferris because he's kind of, like, dead and stuff. Well, maybe dead. Possibly dead.
Patrick,
What?
like,
Yeah.
is noticeably trying to process this, like, all of a sudden.
He stopped moving, like, yesterday.
Well,
Maybe he's just sleeping.
wait, he moved?
What do you mean he moved?
Real quick. Out of character, he hasn't moved since that night on the assassination, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Al's like, wait, you mean he moved?
Well, wait,
ever
hold
since
up a
we got-
second. Hold
No.
up a second. No, he moved a little bit. He was wounded. He was lying down before, but
Okay,
he was
okay,
still
okay.
responsive in a way.
Okay, I thought
You
he was.
just can't communicate with him.
Got it. Al would probably rush down to go check on him. Not that he knows much, but hey.
Okay. You head down towards the sewer, in which you can see Sienna, who's just on like a lawn chair, propped up, reading a book. And sure enough, in the center of the room, there lies Ferris, who is still dressed in some of the period clothing, but he is as stiff as a board and not moving an inch. As Sienna looks up from her book at the sudden movement, she says, "Oh, hello. Got what you needed."
Al kind of nods to her and runs over to, or not runs, but walks over to the figure on the table,
Uh-huh.
and he'll say, "Any change?"
Nope.
Damn
It's
it.
been like that for, well, over a day now. I figured he kicked the bucket.
Maybe he's doing some yoga. You know, working that core. Ellie's
Yeah,
like
well-
shouting from afar.
You know anyone that... And Sienna's going to pause, and she's not going to yell. She's just going to roll her eyes and shake her head.
Al, and we already rolled before, like, Al doesn't have a clue how
Yep.
to even check for this
You have
guy's
no idea
vitals.
what's going
Yeah,
on.
yeah. So
he's literally a giant slab of, like, stone now.
Al would just kind of shake his head and he'd say, "Damn it. Well, Tyrath is coming, said that
Oh.
we should all gather in the same place."
She says, well, unless you want to pick this guy up, I suppose you can just have him gather here.
Yeah, I think that might be best.
Good, she says. I was getting bored to tears. I'm glad he's coming after all this. Who's that? Asks. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Sienna knows of Dex Delaney in passing, so never mind. But I'm going to assume Dex Delaney is going to follow the rest of you down here, too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So with that, with all of you guys gathered in the little vault, Baron's unused vault at the underneath the Rhapsody, what do you guys do next?
All right. Just to from the messages I got in my mind when he said like gather everyone here, was that like a like all of the crew? Because I might need to still get everyone here.
No.
But... Right. Cool. Then I
No.
guess I'll just get things rolling then.
Okay.
Patrick does his usual and takes out the necklet, holds it up, focuses on it.
Okay, great. And with the message, about 4 seconds pass when a bright shot of purple light fills the underground vault momentarily. Causing Dex Delaney gives a bit of a surprised noise and staggers back a few steps before kind of clearing his eyes. And sure enough, there is Tyrath. When you first met him in the Sable Dimension, he was dressed in period-specific clothing, a large trench coat, trousers, shirt, hat, the whole thing. Now he is dressed in his usual robed attire, flowing robes with golden seams going down the side. However, he is still in a grayscale black and white tone as he peers around with his dinosaur-like face, first towards Sienna, and then Ferris, then towards you and the Dex Delaney. He says, "Greetings, mortals."
Hi, Tyrath.
"Hello," he says, nodding his head.
Ellie smiles.
You have the item in question, he says, as he extends a large clawed hand empty palm upwards.
Tom will give him the statue of the golden rabbit.
As the golden rabbit rests in his hand, Tyrath takes a moment, closes his eyes, and for a moment a white halo circles around the rabbit itself, and he says, "Very good. Plus, it appears something extra inside of it. All the better," he says, as he retracts his arm a little bit. He looks down towards Ferris, and he crouches one knee, plus places a single clawed finger on Ferris's forehead, as once again he closes his eyes and he says, "A healing coma. He will not arise for several weeks."
Oh, so he's not dead. Uh-oh. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
He's
I could
not
hear you.
dead.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
He's not dead.
Not yet.
Ellie will look proud that, well, look who was right. Toot my own horn.
Patrick
here,
does
but-
nod and goes, "You guys need to be more of an optimist."
Yeah, not everybody has to be dead.
They're all dead.
Should we message Inferno? I don't know if he can even hear us.
Yeah, I don't know. Poor guy. He's got to be getting so frustrated.
Yeah.
Someone should message him, yes.
I am
because of
getting
Oh.
pissed off. I can
There
hear
we
you
go.
guys, but you
There
can't
we
hear
go.
me, and this
Now
is
we hear you.
happening way too frequently.
Yeah, what's
Get-
going on?
I'm getting very deflated right now.
Oh.
Mhm.
But whatever. We'll just push through it. Whatever. Fuck it. Anyway. Tyrath says, yes, it will take several weeks for him to fully repair, but this will be escalated when I return him back to his main domicile. I will ensure his transportation. Please tell me you heard that.
Yes.
We
Definitely
did.
heard that.
Yes.
Yep.
Jesus. All right. As he says, as he looks over at Dex Delaney dismissively for a moment, as he says, "Now for our arrangement." He brings a claw underneath of his robes, and in his free hand that doesn't have the rabbit in it, he provides what appears to be a thin slate. The thin slate is made of a somewhat opaque crystal, very milky white in color. As he hands it towards the closest person, which will be Tom, since Tom handed Tyrath the golden rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
In your hands, you can feel it's extremely cold to the touch, unnaturally cold to the touch, and much heavier than it looks. It seems to be some sort of solid gemstone or rock. As he says, "This is an item of my creation and something that will expedite your search for your travelers you're seeking. When a portal to another dimension, another reality is created, whether it is through a natural ley line or through the powerful magical spell, there is always reverberations. Imagine particles in the wind. Yet these particles are mystical in nature, and they take a very long time to deteriorate completely. This after effect can be measured by the device you now hold into your hand. All you need to do is psychically activate it, although anyone with a conscious mind can do so. Focus upon a day or a period of time, a period of time, and it will lead you to the location of a certain disturbance. For example, if your travelers arrived here in Sable 2.5 weeks ago, as I imagine so, you think in your mind a period of 20 days, and the closest evidence of a portal that had been opened will calibrate this instrument. With this instrument, you simply follow the lines like a compass to that direction, and when you arrive there, the entire slate will light up. Are there any questions in regards to this device?
I don't have any, but it seems real interesting.
Ellie raises her hand.
Yes.
Well, I can't speak on behalf of myself. Do you guys understand it? Because, boy, I don't get it. Ellie, like, blinks at the group.
As far as I can tell, if you know a general time that a portal, rift, tear, what have you, has been made, this will point you in the general direction of that.
Yep.
Okay, never mind then, Tyra. She curtsies.
Is there any other functions to this?
Not currently. Perhaps in the future I could calibrate it to detect other things, but for your current problem, I think this will be sufficient. A tool for a tool.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
You are welcome, he says. Well, Sienna, are you ready to leave? Sienna nods. Then best of luck. I will contact you again in the future if another arrangement needs to be made. Mm-hmm.
So we've gathered everyone down there.
When you say everyone, what do you mean?
Yeah, I know. I didn't actually mention it, but I know Jalea would have wanted to be there. Would she have been there?
No, not unless she was explicitly invited beforehand.
Okay. So Al certainly would have. He would have been very hyper aware of that. I didn't think of it because I'm not Al. So I'm up to. It's completely up to you.
Yeah,
I know that
sorry,
she'd
I
be really
can't
pissed at
because
him.
I already described, Dex Delaney's reaction. I assumed everyone else, everyone. When you said everyone, it was like the PCs. Patrick even asked. He says, when Tyras said gather everyone, does it mean absolutely everyone? And I said no. So I only assumed the group that was in the previous conversation came to the room.
All right.
I'll have to just wait for next time with Tyrath, or not tell her that you met her. It's up to you.
All right.
With that, Tyrath disappears in a purple light. And you're left with a very slack-jawed Dex Delaney.
Al, what did you think?
I think, says Dex Delaney, carefully rolling over the words in his mouth. I think he furrows his eyebrows. That you're some sort of aliens or something? Do y'all look like him?
No, I don't. I don't think I do.
Patrick shakes his head.
there was this old sci-fi movie where people would come in and they were aliens and they would pretend to be people. But, after getting x-rays shone on them or something like that, they'd be revealed. That isn't what's going on here?
No.
No. No. Well, I mean, we could be kind of like aliens. We're built like people and we're called people, but we're not from here.
We're from a
Delaney.
different... Go ahead.
No?
We're from a
You
different
go.
place and time.
When I was talking about... So... Does that mean... Place? Is this real?
Well, it is definitely a place that exists. We don't know too much about it, really. It's
Oh, I think
All
we
right.
lost Inferno again.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So
Discord's just
as
been
far
really
as I
difficult.
know, I don't know what's happening. So, what are we doing?
Well, I guess we'll close it there and we'll finish up. How about
Yeah.
next week we'll
We'll
just
finish
start with
up another
Delaney's reaction.
Yeah,
Thank you
I
guys
mean,
for watching. We'll see you.
We'll see you
Bye
guys next
guys!
week.
Yeah,
Take
bye.
care.
We love you.